I miss playing cricket. I miss it so much. My dad introduced my sister and I to the game very early in our lives, as his dad had introduced it to him. We took my granddad's old stumps, bat, and ball around to the local playing field and we would play. It's crazy to think how much action this old thing must have seen over the years. My dad would invite any local kids who we happened to pass on the way, or who were already at the field, to join us. I never liked this, but I was young, really young. I can't put an exact number to it, but maybe I was 6 or 8, something like that. I remember in the early days I was too scared to have the real cricket ball bowled towards me at a very friendly pace, so we would also take a tennis ball. My dad would be the bowler the whole time, and the kids were the fielders with one batting. When that kid got out, the next kid would get a chance. We didn't keep score or anything, or if we did I never paid attention, and that is where my love for the game started. It was definitely helped that England's Test cricket was broadcast on Channel 4 those days, so I could also enjoy watching the highest level of the game. I feel for kids these days, kids that enjoy almost any sport, since they all seem to be broadcast exclusively on subscription channels that I've never had access to in my life, and I'm sure it's the same for a lot of families. So my love for playing the game became a love for watching it also. As the years went by and fewer kids were around to play with, and my sister was no longer interested in playing sports, we never could get a decent game going, but that didn't stop us. My dad and I moved onto a smaller patch of grass just outside our garden, where we would set up those same old stumps, but I had my own bat now, and we still used a tennis ball. Not because I was scared of the hard red thing, but because on this patch of grass we had lots of car and house windows around, so it would have been too irresponsible. One time I returned from the shops with this sort of training cricket ball, about as harmless as a tennis ball, but it looked like the real thing, because the lack of authenticity really annoyed me. But my dad said we shouldn't use it because it was too bouncy, but I preferred playing with a tennis ball to not playing at all, so I agreed. On this patch of grass we would play as good a game of cricket as you can have with 2 people. One guy bowls, the other bats. When the bowler managed to get the wicket, we would switch. These were the days where I really improved my bowling ability. I would mostly try to bowl seam and swing deliveries. I don't know how well I accomplished the latter, but over time my speed and accuracy increased. We rarely played cricket at school during PE, and mostly when we would play, we played a game called quick cricket, which is a disgrace to the game, where the rules are closer to that of baseball, and only the teachers got the bowl. But on the rare occasion we played the real game, I was feared. "Oh shit, Hodgie's bowling again," they would say, in my mind. One of the final times my dad and I played together on our little patch of grass, I remember this random kid came walking past, and my dad, in a rush of nostalgia, invited him over to play. He said, "Yeah, sure," and once again I was annoyed at some random invading our game. At the time I was bowling, and my dad decided to give up his turn batting so this kid could have a go. He won't last long, I thought to myself. Hell bent on destroying his middle stump, I ran in and bowled a blazing delivery, but in my rage I dragged it wide. The kid could barely swing at it before it was past him. A wry smile fell across my face as I looked up. My dad was signalling to me to take it easy, slow it down for this kid. Unbelievable. I did though. I bowled a lot slower so he actually had a chance to hit it, and hit it he did, once along the ground and then another loop perfectly into my waiting hands. There's no denying that one. He's out. "Well, I guess I should be going home now," he said, having played with us for about a minute. I wasn't too bad with the bat either. I could read the ball and had powerful strokes, but it didn't excite me as much as bowling. Eventually my cricketing prowess got the attention of the teacher in charge of the school team. Yes, I was just as surprised to hear our school had a team, given that we only played real cricket 7 or 8 times in my 5 years there. One day that teacher came up to me after a particularly deadly bowling performance and asked if I was interested in playing for the school. I said yeah, even though I didn't want to. I had a problem back then, one which I still have, but not as bad. I hate saying no to people. Even if my brain is screaming no, I would always answer positively. Now I was scared. Oh god, I just joined the school team even though I don't want to. What have I done? That night when I got home, I told my parents what had happened and how I didn't really want to join the team. It felt like my dad was disappointed, even though we never spoke about me playing for a team. It would have been a great point of pride for him to have introduced me to the game, and to have played with me for years, and then for all of that to result in me playing competitive games against other schools. So why wouldn't I want to join the team? Around this time my dad was getting older and he was more and more tired each day after work, too tired to play cricket most nights. This would have been the only way for me to keep playing regularly. It all sounds very obvious these days, but the reason for my choice back then sounded equally obvious. I hated school. Truly. Yeah, it was nice to see my friends, who lived further away than was reasonable to travel most nights to hang out with them. But the lessons, the uniform, the teachers, the other kids, just everything else I hated. Each day when the final bell rang, I didn't want to spend a second longer than I needed to in that hellhole. So that was my logic. Why would I want to join the team and have to stay here after school just to play cricket? Just to play cricket. The game that was basically my life at that point. I think it's safe to say that decision still pains me to this day, otherwise I wouldn't be making this video. But really, it's not like I would have become professional. Hell, I might not even have been good enough to be included in the school's playing squad once they got a proper look at my ability. But even so, I wish I would have taken the chance to see what could have been. If nothing else, I would have at least bowled a few more overs and hit a few more balls. One day I'll get back out there.